post Cyber Rodeo. I hope everyone is doing well. Let's pull up my Weibo here if I can. Let's see here if let me know if my audio is okay in the chat as well. Wow. So 1,034 sitting on Tesla. I think my Weibo is a little bit weird. I'm just gonna wait for the comments to roll in here. How's it going, Ryan? King, Wolfgang, Hadouken, saying anyone watching TeslaCon? I have TeslaCon pulled up. Maybe we'll watch bits and pieces of it as the live stream goes on. Marco, how's it going? Mimi, throw in the chat where you guys are tuning in from. City, state, country, whatever you guys feel comfortable sharing. Let me pull up my Weibo here now and make sure my audio is coming in A-okay. 1 second. Oh, no audio. Well, great. Okay. It's one of those streams, folks. Well, sorry, I'm back. I don't know why did I hit pause? I have no idea. What did I say? I said I bought the citrus ahead of Cyber Rodeo. Yeah, no, I hit the cough button on the mic. Sorry, folks. Okay, so I hit the cough button on the mic, but I was saying I bought some citrus ahead of Cyber Rodeo. So I went to the grocery store, bought a couple of packs of citrus, but man, is it like all fruits and vegetables. I'm not sure where you guys are finding this as well. Everything skyrocketed in price. Edward, thanks for being a member for 7 months. Appreciate your support. Stockholm, Sweden here. So yeah, I mean, it's interesting to see inflation really hit hard. And kind of the thesis there is I think fertilizer costs have gone up so much, especially something like lettuce. I talk about lettuce a lot on this channel. I had a lettuce, believe it or not. I went to the grocery store last night. $5.99 for a head of romaine lettuce. $5.90, whatever. You guys don't care. Okay, so 1,034 sitting on Tesla. First slice of Juju coming in here. Eastern Long Island, New York. Welcome. Man, we got folks from everywhere here. San Fran. Let me read some comments. Sweden, Colorado Springs, Switzerland. Marcus, how's it going? Investing with the Grain. Nicholas, St. Pete, Florida. I'll be on Nicholas's channel the day after earnings, so I'm looking forward to that. Netherlands, of course, Marco. How's it going, Marco? Our lovely mod here, along with others. So we got a lot to talk about. And I was talking about TeslaCon and how their audio issues have been a little bit off on YouTube. But we've got a lot to talk about today in today's live stream. 1,034 sitting on Tesla. The weekly graph, the weekly candle for Tesla, of course, is red. High, or the start of the week was 1,090 roughly. High of the week was, as we know, close to 1,150. Low was about 1,025, 1,020, and we're sitting at 1,034. For us to go green would be quite the move, but I think the S&P 500 is just about to flicker green here. So let's see if some strength comes into close here. So a lot to talk about. Yesterday, of course, and I see the comments here. By the way, I'm gonna peel both of my oranges now, so I don't have to do it later. Let me know if you guys are eating citrus, or some people eat lemons on the stream. I don't know. Vitamin C is good for you. Go grab something. So yesterday, Cyber Rodeo. A lot to talk about. First thing, though, I wanted to share. I was watching Cyber Rodeo and I tweeted this out. Elon's quote. I kind of went like semi-viral. I've never had this many likes. Thought I'd show it off here on the stream a little bit. It was an Elon direct quote saying, Elon said yesterday, we're going to move to truly massive scale that no company has ever achieved in the history of humanity. I woke up this morning. I fell asleep and it had like a couple thousand likes, which is like really good for, I don't have a million Twitter followers. Woke up this morning, I was like, what the heck just happened? It was just nuts. I had to turn off basically my Twitter app this morning with the amount of notifications I've had on. It was nuts. Anyways, yesterday Cyber Rodeo. Let me know in the chat what you guys' thoughts were around Cyber Rodeo. What did you like? What you didn't like? What was the key thing for you? It was the Juju, yes. But we have a lot to talk about. Wanted to show that off quickly if I could. But Cyber Rodeo. So, by the way, first thing I want to say is Elon kind of gave me kind of MJ vibes here. Like, someone tweeted at me saying as well, like there was a girl crying. And I remember watching that. And it was like an MJ concert, he said. I agree. Yesterday's Cyber Rodeo, it wasn't like a company corporate like retreat or something. Like it really wasn't something where you're like, oh yeah, this is just like a company building products that people are going to pay for. It's like a rock. It was like a rock show. It was like it was like an event, right? Michael Jackson or Michael Jordan, maybe both. The drone show was pretty lit as well. Absolutely. It was yeah. Marcus says Beatlemania. It was crazy to see the reception, the overall hype of the event. It goes to show you the brand power that Tesla has. When people tell you Tesla's just a car company, sure, maybe right now. But when you have such a loyal following, here we are talking about Tesla Friday at 12:10 p.m. For the next hour. And, when you have this type of brand loyalty and you have this type of engineering power that Tesla does have, man, the world's going to change. So it was super cool.
Ideas.
I wanted to play this, talking about future products a little bit, and then get our thoughts on it here.
The team, we've made the world's biggest casting machine work very efficiently to create and radically simplify the manufacturing of the car. And we're aiming, just with the Model Y program alone, to get to 500,000 units a year. And then we're going to start manufacturing Cybertruck here next year. But I can't say...
So that was one thing. 500,000 Model Ys in Austin a year. The other thing was Cybertruck. So Cybertruck, we've heard this a million times. It got rehashed in media today. Cybertruck not happening till 2023. I mean, my thoughts on that are, first of all, we already knew that, but my original thoughts on the Cybertruck being pushed to 2023 was, I mean, we've heard it before. It sucks. No one likes it. But for the 4680s to come to true scale, it's going to take to the end of the year at least anyways. And at that point, that buys Tesla some time on the Cybertruck to finalize all the design specs. Of course, I think we'd all want it to be coming out this summer or something. But it has to come out in 2023 at this point.
Yes, we're going to move to just truly massive scale. Scale that no company has ever achieved in the history of humanity. That has to happen in order to transition the world to sustainable energy. So massive scale, full self-driving. There's going to be a dedicated robo-taxi. That's going to look pretty... It's going to look quite futuristic. And then, of course, we've got the Tesla robot, Optimus. This is... I think Optimus will obviate what it even means, what an economy even means. So it'll be able to, basically anything that humans don't want to do, Optimus will do it. And
that's a lot of things, by the way. Throw in the chat, wrong answer is only what will Optimus be doing. One thing I appreciate about Elon, right? And I tweeted this out as well yesterday, talked about Steve Jobs and Elon, how they're super different. But the fact is, these events that they're throwing are going to be looked upon and revered upon for years to come, right? You talk about the original iPhone unveiling, videos that people watch to this day. A study, they're very different. Steve Jobs was super calculated, super scripted. Everything down to even hand motions were choreographed, trained, super methodical in his marketing. Elon's the exact opposite. No script, from what I can see, unless those glasses have some sort of teleprompter in them. No script, off the cuff, straight from the heart. Yes, it comes with its down moments when Elon slips up and says something that he probably shouldn't. But yes, I mean, overall, crazy. John says, Robo-taxi, single piece casting, exoskeleton like Cybertruck. The robotaxi thing was another one, right? Elon said the robotaxi car is going to be a brand new car, essentially, is what he implied. Yes. So exciting stuff for sure. Let me read another comment here. Where is it? Silent says, why release a new product when they can't even make enough of the ones they already sell? This is the problem, right? Tesla's in this predicament where they're truly production constrained. If they had a million more chips, they'd be able to sell a million more cars, or a million more other supplies, let's say. But they're not. So to a degree, I get it. That's why I think they didn't unveil it 100%. Like, this is officially our unveiling for this new product, because I think they really want to release the Cybertruck, a product that they've taken pre-orders for, before they start releasing specs of the other car, pre-orders for the other car. Charles says that they're going to need to start breaking ground if they're going to scale. That's another conversation, right? Is 500,000? What's past that? We know Giga Austin is huge. We know Giga Berlin is huge. We know the Giga casting machines are in. They're going to need a lot more. And this is where the state of Texas, I guess, comes in handy. It's a lot easier to get stuff passed. I mean, I assume there than it might be in Germany. That's at least my interpretation of it. AV says, in Elon timeline means end of 2024. I didn't learn anything new yesterday. I don't think yesterday was really meant to be anything new per se. I think some people had their expectations. I saw on Twitter, some people were like, "Oh, I'm going to buy lottos for tomorrow." To me, that never made sense, because there's no way that Elon was hyping or unveiling a new product or anything like that in terms of specs. It was supposed to be a grand opening party. Elon gave a little bit of tidbits and some nice little cookies for us to eat on, but for the most part, it was just supposed to be kind of an opening party, and that's what it was. I know, by the way, a lot of the members of the Juju gang were there. I'm not going to show photos, but in our Discord, they shared some. Man, it was hard to get in, though, from what I was reading on Twitter, if you didn't have an invite. So Edward also saying, the cheer that Elon got from the Air Force Academy earlier in the day was great to see as well. Yeah, that was really cool. That was super cool as well. Actually, we had a Juju gang member at that event, too. So, whoa, folks. Okay, who's buying Tesla in the stream here? 1,037. Wow. We're getting some hot action here. Okay. I mean, wow. Okay. I don't understand. Jasper says that they're going to make a dedicated robotaxi. Why not use every car they make right now and just use the Model Y? I think the idea with the robotaxi is it has to be super cheap, super durable. Elon has said he doesn't want the robotaxi vehicle to even have a steering wheel, foot pedals. Like, he's said that, at least. So, hey, Tyler, congrats to you. Tyler says, just bought my house. Shout out to taking profits in the 1100s. Hey, awesome. Congrats on the new purchase. Okay, so a lot to talk about. Let's go back on Chrome here for a second. We've got a lot to talk about for yesterday. By the way, TeslaCon live stream is still here. I can pull that up in a second here.
And then we've got, and I think we have a shot at being in production for version 1 of Optimus, hopefully next year. So
hopefully next year. I put very little weight into that timeline, as I think you probably should as well. Exciting nonetheless.
And it's Cybertruck is coming next year. We'll be in production with Cybertruck next year. We'll be in production with the Roadster and with Semi. And now let us deliver our first Tesla cars made in Texas.
All right, I don't want to get copyrighted on that again, but the people taking deliveries yesterday, super awesome. I have a gut feeling a little bit with these made in Texas vehicles that their build quality is going to be a lot better than Fremont in terms of panel gaps and overall build quality. That's just my guess. I guess we'll see. Mimi says, where will they produce the bot next year? I have my doubts. Yeah, I think it's more of a Dave Lee question. Dave Lee is very intimate on the bots, but for me, the bots are more of a out of the money call option in Tesla a little bit. For an analogy, it's probably going to be a big story in the latter half of this decade. But for now, it's hard to pinpoint anything. Pricing, specifications, methodologies that are going to be used with the bot, applications, like very little details. And I have a hard time speculating myself as to what that could be. So I know a lot of people have, and that's awesome because maybe they're proven right in a couple years. But for me, I just need to hear more about it from the engineering team or the management team at Tesla around specifications. At least that. So, well, okay. Here's the funny thing about the bot, right? Technically, Tesla already has bots. They have all these robots building cars. I mean, what's the differentiation between that and a Tesla bot? It's just what is it a person in human form? Like, if we want to be a little bit nitpicky on the idea, Tesla bots already exist in the Tesla Giga and Terafactories. So that's the way I look at it. I don't know. Okay, so 1036, 1036.31. It's not loading here. There it is. 1036.50 sitting on Tesla at the moment. And let me pull up Chrome here. Let's look at the options chain. Let's see what we got going on in terms of options order flow for next week. Remember, a couple of Fridays ago, we got a lot of call buying to end the day. And I'm interested to see, and that was the Monday that we rallied hard. I'm interested to see how we end the day today. So options order flow today is generally bearish. Pardon me. Generally pretty bearish. Not a lot going on. Our daily premiums heat map is showing a lot of next week's, or actually this week's rolling into, let's say, May. So there's that. And again, this might be on the backs of China. Of course, we know China is very strong with China, with the Shanghai close down. There's zero COVID strategy there. So a lot going on in respect to the shutdowns there. Actually, there's protests happening. I saw Troy Tesla tweeted about that today as well. So, by the way, this is Traditex. I see a comment here. This is Traditex, link in the description, affiliate link if you want to check them out. So a lot going on in China. And I'm going to pull up Troy Tesla if I can and just see here. He tweeted some videos. People in Shanghai are protesting food shortages. Apparently no one is allowed to leave their home and grocery shops are closed. This is a little bit of the issue. Oh man, this is just terrible to see. This is and Ray for Tesla actually chiming in. And to my knowledge, I think Ray is actually in China, saying the COVID measures in Shanghai have been working relatively well until now. Time to reassess. I mean, this is the problem is, herd immunity is needed, but also in respect to actually getting vaccinated. I don't think they're using Pfizer or Moderna, so efficacy rates are also down. So a lot going on. I think my personal opinion is end of the month. I mean, April 18th kind of seems like the date that everyone is saying that the COVID openings are going to go back out. My opinion, I think, is probably going to take to the end of the month for that to probably happen. So, but again, this too shall pass. Yeah, Rob says, yeah, let's discuss batteries in Austin Model Y. Lots of questions. So, yesterday, I'm trying to see if I can pull it up on Twitter. Yesterday, we got some news around the Model Y Standard Range Plus 4680 battery cell pack. Yesterday, and I'm not sure if it actually is, I don't think it's come out yet officially. Let me just try to see if I can pull up the news. But this is from Troy Tesla. Troy has tweeted, the reason Giga Texas is building the Model Y standard range with 4680 cells instead of long range version is that the 4680 cell production is still slow and the standard range has a 68 kilowatt battery pack instead of 82. So fewer cells are needed, which they can make more cars. So, and by the way, Lee, Tesla economist, friend of the show, replied to that saying, I still don't like those EPA figures though. It shows no improvement in efficiency, so it doesn't add up yet. So there's some rumors around, and I don't think Tesla's updated this site unless I've been totally out of the loop here around the Model Y. I don't think they've updated it to include the standard range yet, but the going idea is that they will. In my opinion, what I think might be happening here a little bit is Tesla might be shipping, if they can, this is a big if they can ship more batteries out of China amidst the shutdown, if they can grab what they can, haul it, and bring it overseas to North America, then of course, like we know in China, they already sell the Model Y standard range. In fact, I'll pull it up here. I'll pull up the Chinese Tesla site. We know they sell the rear wheel drive Model Y for 317,000 won. That already sells. So if that sells already, I'm guessing perhaps they're shipping batteries, LFP battery packs over. Not entirely sure if they're even possible, if that's possible to do given the shutdowns. But that could be a thought process because does Tesla want to sit on their hands for a month? Right? That's kind of the question here. So yeah, a lot going on. Okay. So in terms of, let me see if I can. So in terms of also, I've got TeslaCon pulled up here. Let's just finish this stream here and see what Elon has to say with respect to other products.
That's to scale. It's 80 feet tall. It's equivalent to 3 Pentagons. This is the largest factory building in the world by volume. So yeah, prototypes they require imagination and they're not easy. But relative to production, prototypes are easy. Production is hard. And this building is the most advanced car factory that Earth has ever seen. The team's doing great work in Fremont, California, but we took a lot of lessons learned from that, where the buildings were all separate. There's a lot of movement between the buildings, and the thing that we thought makes sense is to really think of it like a chip, like an integrated circuit. Combine everything together in one package, and this is a case of raw materials come in one side. They get formed into a cell, then get formed into a pack. Then we cast the front and rear body. The pack itself is structural, and out comes a finished product. So it's raw materials in one side, cars out the other side. So we're building our own battery cells. We think the most advanced cell in the world here at Giga Texas. And we think over time this will probably be the biggest cell factory in the world. As I was saying, it's a revolutionary car manufacturing to basically make a car out of 3 major parts: a cast rear, a structural pack, and a cast front. So what you're looking at are the biggest.
By the way, all the castings, we talk about the rear casting, the front casting, and the structural pack. You talk about margins, man. Of course, when Tesla's ramping up, margins are going to be a little bit iffy. That's another thing we could talk about. But man, when that's at full scale production, and they're churning those out, and there's very few bad castings coming out, and it's just smooth as butter, margins are going to significantly improve. No more auto body shop needed for all the welding and the different metals coming together. It's going to be massive. So, okay, Tesla. Talking about someone says Tesla doesn't go up after good news anymore. I think it's good to have context around this. I'll pull up the daily graph. So Tesla is still up since the middle of March. March 14th to be exact, is still up 38% since 3 weeks now, right? So in a sense, it's taking a breather. When we look at the exponential moving average, or when we look at the simple moving averages, we see around 1,000, there should be some padding here, some support if needed. Remember, a lot of people were trading this event. They were front running Austin and Berlin prior to getting approval or prior to the grand opening Cyber Rodeo. So there is some selling off to be expected. Number 2 is, it's not like the macro markets are rallying either. Tech is down 1% on the day. SPY actually is just flickered green. So there's that. That's good stuff. Maybe we see some continuation to tech. But I mean, I think it's important to remember with Tesla, and I see a lot of comments coming in about, not just here, but just in Twitter even, about China. And well, there goes Tesla stock for the next 4 months. First of all, perhaps. But second of all, you have to ask yourself, at least I am, on a daily basis, we're up 38% in the last couple of weeks for sure. but we're still down from January 1st or January 3rd, the first trading of the year, 15% year to date. So if we're still down 50% year to date, I still think big money, the big reason for the sell off in the first couple of months of the year, I think we're big money consultants being tipped off on the obvious thing that we actually probably should have seen coming, which was China's strategy towards this inevitable Omicron rise that they're seeing now. Of course, in North America, we got that in December and January, but because of course, China's Olympics, they were very strict at the border. They told everyone to stay inside their house, and they did everything they possibly could. But it was only time. You can only really run for Omicron for so long. So, yeah, there's that. Hadouken, thank you for the $5 super chat. What are your thoughts on the lack of service centers when Tesla does scale? Do you think this will be an issue? Right now, turn times are crazy. Yes. It is, because just anecdotally speaking as well on service, I was talking to a service manager at a Tesla, and again, plural of anecdote is not data, but she runs this service center here, one of the newer ones. And she was telling me they're hiring like crazy. They're having a hard time finding people and a hard time tracking the growth of Teslas in the area, right? If Tesla is doubling the outstanding number of Teslas in the city every year, and yet service centers are staying flat or growing 10% in terms of employee count, it's going to be tough. But I mean, it's going to be a problem for sure. My experience of service center, I have a couple YouTube videos out on it. They've been really good in terms of service. Like Elon says, the best service is no service, but it's definitely a growing pain. Exactly. So I have no doubt that they'll be able to figure it out. I mean, also remember, electric cars on the whole need a lot less service than internal combustion engine vehicles. No oil changes, no spark plugs getting all crusty on you, towards the end of the life. No engine, timing belt changes. That was one that we had with the Corolla. Like all these things that could go wrong in the engine, you don't have that with an electric vehicle. A year and 4 months into ownership, we've changed the windshield wiper fluid. That's not to say that, knock on wood, touch black, nothing happens, but I'm just saying overall in the whole, service is less of the equation, especially earlier on in ownership. So yeah, I think it's important to have a long-term time horizon on a stock like Tesla, especially. We talk about markets, and I see some comments here about short-term trading fluctuations. I would not be surprised if we kind of flirted in that zone between 1,100 to 1,000 for some time here. Wouldn't be the end of the world if that happened, because we just passed through a lot of catalysts. I think earnings on the 20th of April, which by the way, I'll be going live for. Of course, we'll be doing our earnings power hour. I think that's going to be important. I think they're going to be pretty good earnings for quarter one, because a lot of the fixed costs associated with the new factories are not going to be a thing for the beginning of the year, at least. So we got that. But also, I think it's important to realize that the rest of the year might be tainted a little bit because of expectations out of Shanghai, expectations from the ramp. So I guess we'll see how Tesla management navigates that. But the bigger question is how much of that is already priced in at the moment. So Gene's on CNBC. Hey, okay, interesting. I actually don't have it pulled up. Let me pull it up right now. Yeah, I mean, everyone's saying China lockdowns will hurt. Absolutely, they've hurt. But the question is how much of that is priced in? I don't believe for a hot second that big money was surprised when this inevitably happened. And by the way, remember, this is not just a Tesla issue. Anyone making this specifically about Tesla is not being intellectually honest. This is affecting many different companies out there, not just Tesla. Let's see what we got going on here. Ooh, okay. Hold on.
I think there's a high.
Wow. So you think this is a real thing? Gene, I have to ask you about the event last night where there was a lot of excitement and some news. At least they're going to start building the truck next year. But at the same time, one of their biggest factories in Shanghai, I believe, remains closed. There are reports that it's been closed for at least 12 days. Wasn't this the factory that produced half of Tesla vehicles last year? How much is this going to hurt?
Well, it's going to come up. It is something that passes the materiality standpoint for investors. And to simply put numbers around this is they're probably going to miss 30 days of production from Shanghai. That is about 40,000 vehicles. If you put that in the context of the quarter, that's about 8% of the quarter, the 8% of the June quarter, really talking about the June quarter here. If you look at it in a full year context, assuming that the production works itself out, you're looking at a 2% headwind. And so it is something that needs to be factored in. We have seen shutdowns before. I think what's more important than what we're seeing in Shanghai and with the truck drivers and the inability to get things moved around, I think what's much more important is just the simple demand. And if I may, Sarah, just quickly frame in what's going on with Tesla demand, is that we look at Tesla demand across 8 countries, all of their different models. And this is as of this week, the average wait time is 4.5 months. Now, to do the same exercise with traditional car makers is difficult because they don't quote lead time. So you have to go through a dealer network. So we called 5 dealers. It was a small number, but in the US this week, and the average lead time was 2 months. And so what we're seeing is let's put some weight in the few calls that we did, and obviously we have good visibility with Tesla, is that their demand essentially is 2x what traditional auto is. And I think that that speaks to that investors are going to be okay with this Shanghai shutdown. As long as demand is there, I think that they're going to be okay.
Yep.
That's really interesting information. You're a fan. Gene, thank you for joining us.
Thank you,
bringing
Sarah.
it to us. Gene Munster. Here's where we stand in the market.
So G makes the point saying demand, as long as demand sustains for Tesla, the factory shutdowns in the long haul don't matter. That's an interesting thought because I guess the worry, if you're a traditional investor and don't really know much about Tesla, is you would think, okay, in the times when Tesla shut down, no one can get their hands on a Tesla. What if consumers flock and run in to Ford's dealership and say, you know what, I'm buying a Ford truck instead? And I guess the sentiment, if you're even knowledgeable on Tesla as an investor, is that the person that's going to buy a Tesla is not going to walk into a GM and buy a truck or buy some other car made by Legacy. The reason why they're waiting for Tesla is because they want a Tesla or at least something electric. And by the way, I think Mach-E wait times are still pretty high too. Does anyone know how long it takes if you order a Mach-E today to even get one? That'd kind of be the closest comp, at least I can think of. Maybe the Nissan Leaf, but different category a little bit. So, I mean, remember, someone says Gene Munster's man. Absolutely. Yeah, Gene's awesome. I think it's important to listen to what Wall Street pundits or investors or analysts have to say, because remember, they pay good money for consultants to tell them what they're hearing boots on the ground. You talk about China, you talk about XYZ thing being passed. These guys have put a lot of money in, and their firms do. They put a lot of money and weight into intel that they get. So when they come on, they say stuff. Gene just kind of spilled the beans with his methodology of calling dealerships. I think it's important to listen. All right. The competition, Mimi says, can't scale up, so they don't have any cars to deliver. That's the big problem. Actually, that's a good segue. Elon just tweeted this out. Elon replied to World of Statistics, lithium price per ton from 2012 at $4,450 a ton to today at $78,000 a ton for lithium. Elon replied saying price of lithium has gone to insane levels. Tesla might actually have to get into mining and refining directly at scale unless costs improve. There is no shortage of the element itself, as lithium is almost everywhere on Earth, but pace of extraction / refinement is slow. Someone replied saying, theoretically, it would be possible, and Elon has said this multiple times, theoretically, it would be possible to convert the entire US fleet to electric using only the lithium in Nevada. That's just a single state. Elon says true. Elon has said this multiple times, but I guess we'll see. Man, it's never a boring day in Tesla land, hey? Is it? Hold on one second. Let's see here. Hadouken says 2022 Ford Mach-E wait times extended to over 32 weeks. Okay, there you go. Thank you for that. At 32 weeks, Tesla is not that high, but remember, Tesla's also making stuff at scale. So, yeah. That's what I said. It's never a boring day in Tesla land. Let's play a Tesla. Well, we have our Tesla closing price guessing game coming out in 10 minutes, not now. Don't throw your stuff in. It'll definitely get lost. But let's play. I was debating a segment for the stream. Let me know your thoughts on this. Of course, we know the segment, very popular segment, overrated, underrated. And we can throw in topics and we can say overrated or underrated on them. Another one was wrong answers only, and we can do that one as well. That one's a popular one with the stream. What should we do? Let's do overrated, underrated, and throw in some topics in the chat. Let's try a new one today. So throw in, like, for example, someone could throw in Tesla bot, and we'll talk about whether it's overrated or underrated. Actually, no. Maybe what if I come up with the topic and you guys throw in the chat over or under? Tesla bot. Surprise. Tesla bot. Throw in the chat overrated, underrated, your thoughts around it. It can be simple, or it could be an explanation. Up to you. I'm gonna marinate in this one for a hot second before I think about it. I'm gonna say underrated because of Wall Street. I think we live in somewhat of a Tesla bubble. By who is a good question. I don't know. It's up to you. It's up to you. I'm gonna try to MacGyver this one a little bit. I think underrated because I don't think the street is really caring for it too much, and I think because we live in a Tesla bubble at times, we hear about it a lot from awesome people that have awesome insights on it. So it makes sense to a degree that, we hear about it a lot more than the street. I'm going to say underrated only because I don't think I've really heard anyone on the street talk about Tesla bot yet. So like Market Scraper says, Tesla bot is not rated. That's almost true. A lot of underrateds in here. Okay. One over. Fair enough. I have no knowledge. That's definitely I'm definitely overrated there. Elon, well, okay, Elon is an easy one. I think we're all gonna say underrated. Okay, next one. So I would say that answer was mostly underrated on that. Cybertruck. This is a good one. Underrated or overrated? Cybertruck. You don't have to throw in an explanation if you don't want. Yeah, production is definitely years out for sure. Okay. Oh yeah, Dasa got me to it. Cybertruck, overrated, underrated. Throw in the chat. I'm gonna answer after I see. Okay, I see a lot of comments coming in here. Underrated. Cybertruck's underrated. Everyone is saying Cybertruck is underrated. Almost everyone. I don't want to say everyone. Hype is 3 years old. Oh man, you know me. I like to be, a little bit of a devil's advocate. Should I make a case for overrated? It's hard to though. Hadouken says overrated with Optimus inside. Underrated. Okay, despite the Cybertruck being very hyped up, very in the media. Check this out. Look what I found. Look what I saw the other day on. And by the way, just for context, my answer is underrated, but I'll explain for a second why. I went on Google and I typed in Cybertruck, and look what I saw. The second thing suggested is Cybertruck canceled. So the April Fool's joke that someone tweeted out saying Cybertruck's officially canceled, blah blah blah, debunked. That's the second most searched on thing. So there's people out there that exist probably today that still think Cybertruck is being canceled. I'm going to say it's underrated, but not for the same reasons that I see a lot of people saying it for here. I'm going to say underrated for the sense that it brings a new pool of eyeballs to Tesla. The truck lovers, the general contractor types, the construction types that, and I guess it's to be determined still. if they're going to adopt this truck, but I think they will because the specs will be there eventually. I think it brings a whole new pool of investors / customers to Tesla. Hear me out. If Tesla comes out with the Tesla Model, whatever, 2 or the Model Q, whatever people wanted to call it, for the most part, there's a lot of overlap, I think, with the Tesla community today and that car at $25K. I would say maybe like 70% overlap. The Cybertruck, though, I think opens up, and yes, I know a lot of people in the community are going to be getting the Cybertruck or at least have had it on reserve. But I think the overlap is only about, like, let's say 25%. So I think the overlap ratio, if you were drawing those little like those circles, those Venn diagrams, I think the overlap is a lot less than people think of the types of people that currently don't like Tesla, hate Tesla, and would want it. So that's why I think. Richard says Cybertruck underrated depending on production date relative to competitors. Yeah, if Cybertrucks takes till 2025 to come out, I mean, that'd be a huge disappointment. I think. Cyber. Okay, there are some other ideas at me, folks. For so far, we've had underrated twice now. I want to do something a little bit more controversial. What's another topic? 1,030 is sitting on Tesla, by the way. Let me just think. Tesla stock split. How's that? Tesla stock split. Overrated, underrated. This one, not the one that we've had last year. That's a good one. Maybe we'll do that one next. Tesla stock split. Okay, good ideas. I'm going to save some of these for our next topic. Tesla stock split. Okay. Over, under, over. Ooh. Okay, so this one's a little bit more touchy. Okay, I like it. All right. The Dodgers. You know, I used to rep a Dodgers baseball cap for like 5 years. I loved this one LA Dodgers cap that I had. Then I lost it, but it was my favorite cap. Okay, so this is more of a split. Okay, I like it. Okay, so this is more of a discussion point. Throw in the chat why as well. I see some comments. And that's fine. You don't have to. Overrated compared to last year's. Overrated because it's so drawn out this time. Oh, Boyle, good point. So that's a big one, right? We don't know when the split is going to be. We know it's going to be this year after the shareholders meeting, after it gets approved, assuming it gets approved. But we don't know when. And I made this point the day the split news came out. I said, what's different this time is we don't know when. Don't think it's going to be the same type of run up that we've had before. 1,031 sitting on Tesla. Let's see here. Brian says, Emmett said this morning that he's advocating for a giga split of either 50 to 1 or 100 to 1. We were having this conversation on our private Discord today. By the way, shout out to all Juju Gang members. And we were having that conversation, what do you want? And we were talking about Emmett's 50 to 1. That would put Tesla about $20 a share. I don't know. I feel like I don't think that's what I would like. Now, again, it's not up to me, so, who am I? I don't know if I'd be down for that. And I don't think Tesla wants to do that per se. So, throw in the chat what you would like if, assuming they are going to split, what ratio would you like for the split? I mean, it doesn't surprise me that Emmett's coming out of the box with an idea. Emmett's an out of the box thinker. He thinks for himself. He's pretty independent in his opinions. So it makes sense that he's one of the only people in that direction. I don't know if Tesla management thinks like that in terms of trying to get it to under $20 a share. Maybe they do. I don't know. I still think following the Apple-like trajectory probably makes sense. Let's see here. 10 to 1, 10 to 1, 20 to 1. Yeah, Daniel says, so my son can buy them. Absolutely. Well, 10 to 1, so about $200 a share. Yeah. Okay, there's fractional shares. We talk about that all the time, of course. We know there's fractional share ownership. But it would make options trading a lot more different, right? If all of a sudden Tesla was a $20 per share company and a $5 move in Tesla would represent a 25% move, options trading would be a lot different. I think 20 is too thin, in my opinion. I think Tesla at an absolute stock price level being between $200 to $800 a share, is $500 a share, is kind of right, and then split every time it gets kind of past that, kind of that like the Apple model, I think. Daniel says if the shares were really cheap, like 20 or 40 bucks each, I'd imagine a lot of people would just make a subscription and buy $100 off their paycheck every time. Yeah, perhaps. Yeah. I mean, here's an argument against that, by the way. We know Tesla, and I'll pull up my autos watch list here. Tesla does not like following other companies, right? Tesla likes making their own way, their own trajectory. If you look at other auto stocks, they're all priced like how we're talking about with that massive split. You know, General Motors, $40 a share. GGPI, this is a SPAC, a little bit different. Ford, $15 a share. Honda, $26 a share. NIO, $20 a share. Lucid, $20 a share. Xpeng, $27 a share. So, you know, that's an argument for. By the way, Toyota's $171. But I don't think Tesla thinks that way. I don't think they even want to be in the same conversation a little bit with other auto stocks. I think they kind of like the fact that they're not. I don't know. It's my thought. So Song says 20 to 1 for Dow inclusion. This is another couple comments I saw in Discord as well. To me, I've said this before, Dow inclusion is a big fat nothing burger. Almost no assets under management, no tracking funds that really matter. Well, there's assets under management, but when we talk about tracking funds or forced buying, I don't think the Dow matters. To be honest, the Dow is a big fat nothing burger in my books, always will be. It's a price weighted index. So splits affect the price of the Dow. Like that makes sense. Not even market cap weighted. So, closing price guessing game. Yes. Hey, good segment. Let me know in the chat if we should keep this segment overrated or underrated. We should do it every Friday. By the way, I stream every Friday for Tesla closing price or Tesla closing power hour. Hit subscribe if you're new. Okay, 1,029 cents on Tesla. Throw in the chat. We're playing our Tesla Price is Right closing price guessing game, where I send virtual juju, good juju your way should you get this right. Remember, Price is Right rules. So throw in one guess of what Tesla will close at today to the cent. You have to be at or under. Even if you're a penny over, you can't win. And I'm going to throw out my guess early. I'm going to guess it out. I'm going to put out my guess now. I'm going to say 1,035. Can we rally $5 in 10 minutes? I think I'm going to say it. 1,035 is my guess. By the way, that just happens to be the volume weighted average price. So take that into consideration if you want. Keep it for sure. Awesome. Good segment. Perfect. Will do. Renee says, did you catch the Giga Austin largest building on Earth? Yeah, we were just watching that actually. It's amazing what they've done in Austin. Parody says, I mean, I'll live with either. If they go 50 to 1, I'll start playing with options. If they go with small split, there'll be many more splits and pre-split run-ups. That's kind of my thought process. If they do a less of a ratio split, 4 to 1, 5 to 1, 8 to 1, then there'll be more splits in the future. If they do a 50 to 1, it'd be hard to see another split happening for a long time. Richard says, overrated or underrated the Canucks? The Canucks aren't even on the map. Like, the Canucks are... Man, I love the Canucks. I love the team, but man, they're just hard to cheer for. They win when they shouldn't win, and they should just tank for a higher lottery pick. They lose when they should win. Anyone knows me knows I have a love-hate relationship with the Canucks, but that's my team, so I guess we're going to live or die with them. So the Canucks I wouldn't even say, if I say they're overrated, that's assuming that they have credibility. If I say they're underrated, that's assuming that they even have talent to keep up. So I'm off of it today. Okay. Oh yeah. Options price. Let's take a look at how options are tuning in to end the day here. Let's refresh. Why am I getting so many emails today? Oh, wow. So a lot of options. A lot of calls coming in, it seems like, to close the day here. Interesting. Wow, that algo score just shot up to end the day. Let me take a look at the live options flow here on TradyTix. Oh, hold up. Let's just do out the money, short expiration, and let's take a look here. What do we got? A lot of volume today in short expiration trading on Tesla. Overall, bullish flow, 61% calls, 54% buys, and 70% of those, 69.7%, quite nice, are all swept. So interesting. Wow, look at this. Look at this downtick too, hey? So 1,026 sitting on Tesla at the moment. Edward says low volume too. Yeah, volume's actually, pretty subdued today. 17 million shares traded. Not a lot. By the way, I'm just going to check if I have any options. I don't think I do, but options expiring today. 1 sec. It's a weekly Friday thing I have to do. By the way, happy Friday, folks. You could be anywhere, but you're here for some reason with me, hanging out, talking about Tesla. So much love. Appreciate that. No. Got nothing. I don't know when the split will happen, but I think the earliest it happens is June, end of June. Maybe middle of June. I think it's the earliest it happens considering the shareholder meeting then. And I think the latest it happens is October. So a lot to go. A lot of room there, I should say. So Joshua says, do you have any videos on options? I need to learn ASAP. What's a good resource? Yeah. Go on my channel. Not now, but later. Hit playlists. I have an options training playlist there with videos. I've been meaning to do a lot more options. In fact, I've even recorded options training videos that I haven't uploaded. I've just been so enamored with Tesla content and wanting to put out Tesla content that the options stuff I've kind of put to the side, but I definitely need to. You guys are saying early June. Victoria, how's it going? Good to see you too. Okay, 1,025 sitting on Tesla. I'm going to keep an eye on the options as they come in. But the more I look at it, the more puts are coming in for next week. 980 strike, 980 strike, 1,000 strike being swept at the ask. Pretty big flow as well, actually. And these are fresh coming in. They're going to load as they come in. A lot of put action. So it seems like 980 is what they're kind of targeting for next week in terms of price. At least these put buyers are at the moment. Remember, Mondays are historically kind of strong for Tesla. But that's not to say it's every Monday. But yeah, over under on Juju. Juju is definitely under. Oh, by the way, did I say this yet? I bought nicejuju.com as the merch page because I've been meaning to buy a domain for the longest time for the merch store, which, by the way, shout out to you if you've bought merch already. But I bought nicejuju.com. I was debating that or jujugang.com. I feel like Nice Juju was more, it rolled off the tongue a little bit easier. I'll be having more designs coming out. I actually just paid someone to design some more merch out. So keep an eye on that if you want, but thought I'd share that with the crew. I was surprised. I mean, nicejuju.com is not bad. Maybe we can make it something. Maybe, I'm trying to think if maybe it could be a site where as topical things come up for Tesla or sayings or things that are just in the news come up, can quickly make t-shirts or something on it. It helps support the channel, of course. But we can also rock stuff out and about that's kind of more topical. So something in black would be nice, says Mimi. You should be able to buy anything in any color, I think. Yeah. I mean, I have a hard time. I have a hard time personally buying white stuff, white clothes, that is, because I am a messy eater. So yeah, you should be able to buy. By the way, pink I think is a little bit low key fire. So just my thought. By the way, the Juju's on the back, but I might make it a little bit higher. I'm not entirely sure. Open to suggestions as always. Well, says I still think you should rebrand to sitting on Tesla. I mean, it's funny. I don't have Tesla in my channel name, despite it being almost everything that I talk about. I don't know. When I started the channel, I just figured, I I just figured I didn't want to make it. I didn't want to have Tesla in the name of the channel because it kind of limited to what I would talk about. But I've only talked about Tesla really, and really I don't plan on talking about too much more. So, yeah. Pink over or under. Put a Tesla under that logo. No, I don't think I can put I don't think I can put a Tesla logo on my merch and sell it. I don't think that would be nice. Sitting on Tesla shirt? Yeah, maybe I'll do a sitting on Tesla. By the way, I mean I've showed you guys, I think I've shown you guys this awesome design that actually a friend, I see him in the comments all the time. I'm not sure if he's watching today. But Prime Swede sent me in my DMs. This one. I just don't know if I love the license plate. I think it's awesome. It'd be something that I would wear, but I wouldn't expect someone else to probably want to wear that. I don't know. Joshua says allows you to pivot if you want. Yeah, I mean that, and I also didn't feel like I just didn't know the rule on Tesla, the company, their thoughts on people naming stuff after them. Right? I didn't. So that was another consideration. That, to be honest, I made my channel name and everything within like a day. Made it all myself, and I'm the worst designer or anything out there because I didn't care about that per se. I just cared about the videos that I was putting out, and it was just kind of a hurdle that I had to get through. So, thank you, Mimi. 1,025 sitting on Tesla. 2 minutes to go. It looks like my 1,035 stock price is not going to happen here to close the day. We'll see. A orange hat? Yeah, maybe I'll do an orange hat one day too. Perhaps. Alrighty. So a lot to sitting on Juju. That's a pretty good one actually. Sitting on Juju. So 1,025 sitting on Tesla at the moment, and this week is going to close, of course, red. We talked about the weekly price action. It seems like options buyers are targeting this 980-ish strike, 975. Actually, I see some here now. 975, 1,000 strike. A lot of puts being swept for the 1,000 strike next week. So perhaps we see a dip below 1,000. Let's see how long. Some 980 strike sweeps here to end the day. Remember, I like to see what the sweeps are happening to end the day because I feel like that gives us a lot more insight into Monday. So it doesn't look like a lot of bullish action is coming into end the day here, or at least in the last 10 minutes. So even some 950s I saw down here, actually. Some 950 strikes, 50K, 70K. So, and heavy put volume here. 121K, 155K, 171K. So seems like a test at 1,000 is looking likely compared, at least what the options market is pricing in. But I guess we'll see. I mean, anything can come out of Shanghai this weekend. Anything can happen with, of course, we know with the Berlin and the gas and the news around there. That might be another aspect to watch. All right, 10 seconds left here till close. 1,025 sitting on Tesla. Let's see what the exact price is going to close at here. There it is. There it is, 1,025.49 to close the day. Someone confirm with me if that's in fact the closing price for Tesla. Sometimes they refresh it out. Let's see here. Is that right? In fact, 1,025.49. Let me go through here. So Mark was over. Tim was over. Per Johan Olsen guessed 1,025.33. That's pretty close. Okay, thank you, Victoria. That's pretty close. Let's see what else we got here. Lit guessed 1,025.80. That's over. Rodfather guessed 1,025.20. So the winner today is per Johan Olsen. Sorry for the mispronunciation. Congrats! I'm sending you some virtual Juju, my friend. Remember 5 to 10 business days. For the Juju to get to you. One day I'd like to have this segment actually sponsored by someone that sells stuff Tesla related or something that we can like every week give away like a small prize to the winner. That'd be kind of cool. And it'd be good advertising for someone as well. So much love. Thank you, everyone. I see all the comments coming here. Thank you for tuning in, folks. And I mean, awesome week regardless of the stock price. Again, go back to last Friday's stream or last Saturday's stream when I talked about delivery numbers. I kind of thought we would consolidate in and around this 1,000. Thought the gap would get filled a little bit, and so for all intents and purposes, a good week. The Monday kind of set the bar high. We saw that rally to 1150. That's why we got to be careful a little bit with Monday morning pops. So take care, everyone. Thanks for tuning in. Awesome live stream. Hit subscribe if you're new or if you haven't already. And thank you, by the way, to every single patron to subscriber, channel member, all the people that tune in. You guys make this happen. And I'll catch you on Discord with the entire crew. By the way, awesome crew on Discord if you want to check us out. The $5 a month, it's an awesome way to filter out really awesome people I found. And it helps support the channel as well. So I appreciate it. Take care. And I'll catch you in the next one. Yeah, she's signing off. Peace. By the way, I totally forgot to mention, like I do every Friday. Thank you, Gonzalo, for reminding me. Put away your phones, put away your technology, sign off, go for a walk, meditate, whatever you need to do. Like I always like to give this if you want to call it mental health reminder on Friday streams. There we go. I'm back for that. Couldn't miss a week of saying it. So do that if you need to. Much love. I'll catch you in the next one. Thanks, everyone. That stayed.